My name is Guy Wallace, and I'd like to walk you through an assessment of the leadership systems and processes of the Training and Development Systems View model from my book, Training and Development Systems View, a book that is now available as a free PDF on my website. More on that later. I created this model or framework in the late 1980s to help me assist my training and development clients become more process-centric in their approaches to their department and how they do business. And hopefully, they would then take a more process-centric approach with their clients and approach their efforts more by learning by design than learning by chance. Learning by design is when the enterprise deliberately moves away from informal learning as their approach for ensuring performance competence for key target audiences in key enterprise processes and value chains. There are three levels to the model: leadership, core, and support when you look at one of the versions of the model, where the three levels are stacked: leadership on top, core in the middle, and support at the foundation. The other model, the one on the book cover, is a clock face, which is what we'll use as we do this assessment. At 12 o'clock, Training and Development Governance and Advisory Systems. There are two processes here. 12.1, Training and Development Governance Process. This organizes the executives of the enterprise for the purpose of directing both the overall training and development system and the specific efforts to expend the limited resources allocated to training and development towards only the high priority and high payback needs. This governance process tells you what you will do and when. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with all process outputs, measures, tasks, and responsibilities spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Do the key enterprise stakeholders feel that they truly have control over where the training and development resources are directed? Are all areas of the enterprise covered? Which are not? Are any of those critical? How often do these governing councils, committees, individuals meet? Is it often enough? Are the meetings truly decision-making meetings or just dog and pony shows? Clues and cues that your process is broken. The priorities and projects of the training and development system often change midstream with little business rhyme or reason. There is little energy or enthusiasm for many of the training and development projects, and it is difficult to get the internal customer engaged and involved in a timely, meaningful way. Projects are under-resourced or improperly resourced, where anybody will do. Projects have unrealistic cycle time expectations. Projects themselves have no structure and do not seem to be scheduled activities on the calendars of the customer to be served. Training and development is not a major component of either the overall business plan or the HR plan or the business plans for the other business units and functions. At 12.2, Training and Development Advisory Process. The Training and Development Advisory Process is a set of advisory committees and councils that identify and communicate to the Board of Governors the parochial high payback potential targets. They then oversee and conduct the approved targeted T&D projects for their areas of concern. The advisory committees and councils are immediately below the decision-making body of the Board of Governors of the Training and Development Governance Process. This advisory process makes recommendations to the governance body. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with the process outputs, measures, tasks, and responsibilities spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Do the key enterprise constituencies feel that they truly have a formal voice in what their priority needs are regarding training and development? Or do they have to make noise to get attention? Are all key areas of the enterprise and their functions and disciplines covered? Which are not covered? Are these critical? Is the process used by these advisory councils and committees to determine their priority needs fact or opinion-based? Clues and cues that your process is broken. The advice given to the ultimate executive decision makers regarding training and development resource allocations is happening without training and development's active, structured involvement, and is more political than rational or process and performance based. There is no macro development plan for key target audiences. Most training and development projects are one-offs, one-shot efforts that do not lead to anything cohesive for any key target audience. Training and development projects are conducted without a clear understanding of their cost of conformance and the cost of nonconformance, or forecasting the life cycle costs that will be incurred over the time that this is offered as a training and development product and service to the internal marketplace. You feel that you have to continually roll with the punches and are constantly going from one T&D project fire to another. At 1 o'clock, Training and Development Strategic Planning System has two processes. 1.1 Enterprise Strategic Plan Surveillance Process ensures that the training and development system, including the leadership and their governance and advisory systems, is acutely aware of all the strategic business drivers of the various components of the enterprise, and takes those into account when generating its own strategic and operational plans and activities. This process identifies your customers' strategic issues and needs. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated process with everything spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Is it routine or demand-driven? Is the system and its efforts perceived as being in alignment with the critical high-payback business strategies and tactics? Can the training and development leaders articulate the key business issues and drivers affecting their primary customers? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You have no clue about the high-payback strategies of the key training and development customer segments of your enterprise. Your training and development resources that help you meet the strategic needs of your customers are not seen as strategic themselves. 1.2 Training and Development Strategic Planning Process. This ensures that the training and development system's own strategic plans are in alignment with and supportive of the key needs of the enterprise. This process aligns your strategies with your customers' critical needs. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with everything spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Is it routine or demand-driven? Is the training and development strategy really driven by the strategic plans of the functions and departments of your enterprise? Can you link your key efforts easily to them? Is the training and development strategic plan shared with and then commented on by the key leaders of the enterprise? Do you have their stamp of approval for what you are planning to do strategically? Is the consensus that training and development is aligned? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You have no strategic plan for training and development. Your training and development strategies of where you are going and why are not documented. Your training and development strategies have not been reviewed and or approved by the enterprise leadership as in alignment with the needs of the enterprise. Enterprise executives don't know the strategic value of the training and development organization's contribution from the past, the present, or into the future. Your training and development team is not aware of and cannot summarize the strategic direction of the training and development organization itself, nor of its key customers. At 2 o'clock, Training and Development Operations Planning and Management System. There are three processes. 2.1 Annual Operations Planning and Budgeting Process. This plans for and allocates the resources that the enterprise has partitioned to the training and development system and to all of the various training and development organizations and processes in a manner consistent with the strategic needs of both the enterprise and the training and development system itself. This process plans your year and updates your annual plan as needed. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process with everything spelled out? Is it being followed more often than not? Is it routine or demand-driven? Are the resources provided by the enterprise adequate given the training development plan details driven by your own strategic plan? Do you know where and when your resources will run out? Are there deliberate trade-offs being made in advance of resource depletion? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You don't have an annual plan tied to your specific projects and efforts. You never have the right amount of human, environmental, and financial resources necessary for getting the high-priority demand must-do projects completed in a timely, quality fashion. Forecasted project costs, schedules, and returns on investments are seldom accurate, if done at all. 2.2. Quarterly operations planning and budgeting updates process. This process systematically re-examines and reallocates the training and development resources consistent with the ever-changing strategic and tactical needs of both the enterprise and the training and development system itself. This process plans the quarter and links to the annual process. Assessment questions. Do you have a process with everything spelled out? Is the process followed more often than not? Is it routine or demand-driven? Are the resources provided by the enterprise adequate given your plan details driven by an approved strategic plan? Do you know where and when your resources will run out? And are there deliberate trade-offs being made in advance of resource depletion? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You can't tell quarter by quarter how well you will do in meeting the project goals with the necessary resources. The shifting needs of the enterprise and the trade-off decisions between projects aren't being made if there are not enough resources to allocate in a timely manner. 2.3. Forecasting and accounting process. This tracks all of the training and development expenditures and contractual and planned commitments to ensure that the price tags for all of the current and planned efforts are known before all of the invoices arrive. This process forecasts your finances and reports your actuals in sync with the enterprise systems. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated process with everything spelled out? Is it being followed more often than not? Is it routine or demand-driven? Are actual expenditures tracked and compared to forecasts? Do you always know where you are off plan and by how much? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You don't know where you stand at all times for all current projects in regard to your project and financial status, and your project's continuation and completion's financial obligations. 3 o'clock. Training and Development Cost Benefits Measurement System. There are 4 processes here. 3.1. Cost Benefits Measurement System Design and Deployment Process. This process creates and deploys and maintains the measurement systems and mechanisms for all the training and development's balanced scorecard type metrics reporting. This process establishes training and development's balanced scorecard metrics. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated documented process with everything spelled out? Is it being followed more often than not? Are the cost benefits data shared with the enterprise leaders? Is it reacted to? Are lessons being learned from past experiences, both good and bad? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You don't measure or plan to measure key training and development efforts. There is not a systematic business approach used to decide which efforts get measured and which do not. Measurement is inconsistent, labor-intensive, and the results reported are not insightful. You rarely or never measure learning, performance, and or the business results. 3.2. Ongoing cost-benefit measurement and feedback receiving process, which captures the data from the training and development cost-benefits measurement system, packages it, and reports it out to the appropriate parties within the enterprise. This process feeds the balanced scorecard with measurement data. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated process with everything spelled out? Is it being followed more often than not? Is there documented proof that training and development meets the enterprise's internal return on investment and economic value add hurdle rates? Are the results communicated to the leadership across the enterprise? Are they reacted to? Are lessons being learned from past experiences, both good and bad? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You don't know your general or specific costs, satisfaction levels for any or all of your stakeholders, the mastery levels of learners after training, transfer levels back to the job, and return on investment for any or all of your critical training and development efforts. You have initially collected data, but efforts to do it have declined over time. 3.3. training and development project lessons learned process. This process captures data unique to the internal lessons learned by the participants within training and development processes regarding their experiences in using or being part of the process. This process captures experiential lessons. Assessment questions. Do you have a documented process with everything spelled out? Is it being followed? Are data and lessons learned shared with key personnel and commented on? Is there any evidence that the data and lessons learned being shared are received by those who need them? Is there any evidence that the incidence of mistakes is being reduced? Clues and cues that your process is broken. You keep seeing the same kinds of mistakes and ineffective, costly approaches being used over and over again in successive projects. Your team doesn't know what worked and what didn't work in the past, and more importantly, why. 3.4 Results Reporting and Archiving Process. The results reporting and archiving process gathers all of the training and development results data, puts the data into an intelligent and understandable form, and then reports it out to the stakeholders appropriate to their needs. It also archives the data for future reference. This process reports out the data to all with a need. Assessment questions. Do you have a documented process with everything spelled out that's being followed? Is the data used to determine historical trends and cost heuristics? Do you see improvements in the data and or the need for improvements in the data being gathered itself? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Your stakeholders don't know the results of the investments and expenses made in the enterprise training and development system. You can't really begin to predict the future in terms of training and development costs and returns based on past projects and efforts. You can't go back and look at or find your past project results nor investments. At 4 o'clock, the Training and Development Process Improvement System. There are two processes. 4.1 Training and Development Issues Generation and Assessment Process, which identifies both the training and development current and future issues that are high payback problems and opportunities, and brings them to the attention of the training and development governance and advisory system. This process screens internal training and development improvement opportunities to ensure the ROI potential. Assessment questions. Do you have a process with everything documented that's being followed? Are training and development's own business issues systematically being generated, or does it take a major blow-up before things not right are being discovered? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Big training and development system problems and opportunities are not determined, validated, or addressed in a rational, systemic manner. Major training and development problems that aren't addressed incur avoidable, recurring costs that reach a high level of significance and or intolerance that detracts from the key business focus of the training and development system. 4.2 Training and Development Improvement Project Planning and Management Process. This process takes the validated problems and opportunities and plans a project to address the needs, and then oversees the improvement initiative efforts much as any other major or minor improvement initiative. This process plans and manages internal improvement efforts for the training and development organization's own systems and processes. Assessment questions. Do you have an articulated, documented process that's all spelled out and that's being followed? Do the actuals match or get close to forecasts for both budget and time? Do the improvements result in real process performance improvements, or do more problems come to the surface or come up as a result of one improvement effort? Clues and cues that your process is broken. Improvement initiatives are undertaken without a clear plan of tasks, responsibilities, schedules, or costs. Improvement initiatives are routinely poorly conceived, behind schedule, or over budget. Improvement initiatives are not considered true projects with expectations for results, resources, communication, etc., equivalent to client work. Projects drift and seem uncontrolled despite a well-documented plan. none of the really big problems are really being addressed. Well, that's it in the podcast nutshell, so to speak. This was intended as an overview of the Training and Development Systems View model at the leadership level, prior to your listening to the remaining podcasts in this series and or using the book to guide your assessments deeper. The book, Training and Development Systems View, is available as a free PDF on my website at www.eppic.biz. That's epic with 2 P's, .biz. You can reach me, Guy Wallace, via the website as well. I hope that you have found this informational. Have a great day.